There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, Bondi, Alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal live stream from Expats, Portugal. How are you? Feliz Ano Novo, dear friends. You Gumpers, as Warren Sharm says at the end of our new opening sequence. What do you think? Letting you know what we do, basically, each and every day here on the Good Morning Portugal show. And, of course, Monday evenings, our gardening show, and Thursday evenings, our webinar as well. No gardening show tonight, though, however. It's our team meeting this evening, the first Monday of every month. But for the second, third, fourth, and is there a fifth Monday ever in the month? No, I don't think so. But every other Monday, apart from the first, we are there with the Fresh Air team, helping people to get out and grow, which is the strapline of the show. How was your festive period? How are we doing? Are we recovering well from the Christmas psyop that has been? And yeah, for anybody who needs to know, it's Monday. It's January, it's 2022. We are into a new year now, because some people are completely lost. I mean, there have been times in the last few days where I've not known what day it is. I can confirm it is Monday, the 27th of January. Only kidding. It is Monday, the 3rd of January, moving closer, ever closer to 12th night, where all the decorations will be taken down, of course. But Portugal. Great job, Portugal, this Christmas. Portuguese people, despite the circumstances, I think, on the larger scale in terms of public health, I think had a pretty good time as a generality. We certainly did. And thanks to everybody who made that so, tuning in to the Christmas shows and the New Year's Eve do, which was really great fun. We weren't able to bring the Belters to you live, but we did play some recordings of their music, which were great as well. And Mrs. M jumped on and joined me, and the kids did, as we counted in the new year, and had a look at the Lisbon fireworks. The Lisbon fireworks are pretty impressive as well, and I know that Terence, dear Terence, how are you, dear boy, this morning? Terence enjoyed that. Great show, New Year's Eve, Carl and Louisa loved it. Yeah, and it was great, but I wasn't expecting hundreds of people to be watching it subsequently and enjoying it as well. You, Terence, among them. So some interesting news this morning. I think if we just deal with the weather very quickly. Foggy, isn't it, all over the country? I'm not getting much of. I'm still continuing to have these strange internet problems here. I think it's a conspiracy. Word of the moment. I think my virus protection has lapsed, and they put up a banner and a little pop-up, don't they, saying, "Oh, your computer appears to be slow. You need to renew your virus protection." Well, I think it's them that slows it down to make you do that. But anyway, yeah, so foggy in Lisbon, and but still a very nice and comfortable 12 degrees rising to 18, or 54 degrees Fahrenheit rising to 64 today. Porto a bit cloudy, Coimbra cloudy, rising to 19 though in Coimbra. Porto 16 degrees the high, and in Faro 17 degrees. From Faro, you will see that I've put in Victoria's new YouTube channel. Let me just put that on the screen for you. So Victoria has come up. Victoria Benson, known and loved in this community, top gumper, has put together a new YouTube channel, perfect for the time of year. It's called You Are Here, Relaxation and Meditation. And the first one, is it the first one? She's put a couple up now. Good work, great work, very beautiful videos with the hashtag serenity, calmness, and relaxation. And it says, enjoy 20 minutes of tranquil ocean sunsets. This is just one of them. There are different kinds available. Enjoy 20 minutes of tranquil ocean sunsets with the soothing sounds of rolling waves and seabirds, along with deep rhythms to help wash away your stresses and bring you calmness, tranquility, and peace. You deserve every minute of it. Wishing you boundless love and light. So much gratitude for your support. So do please subscribe. The link is there for You Are Here, Relaxation, Meditation. Victoria Benson's new YouTube channel, folks. Let's see what you're saying this morning in the comments, the all-important comments. Gilda will be with us, of course, later on after 9 o'clock, talking about all things migratory, including this one. Bon dia, Kai up Thunder, Mr. and Mrs. Duck. Can you give an update, Gilda? When she gets here, I'll pass this on. So it's about driver's licenses and some of the frustrations. You're one of them, aren't you? Facing frustration with IMT. 8 months waiting for an appointment with IMT, and now the time limit has lapsed. We'll find out the best guidance from Gilda after 9. Okay, Thunder. And yeah, thank you for everything, for all your input and support over 2021, and looking forward to a fabulous 2022. On that note, who's got resolutions, intentions, possibilities? I want to talk about that as well this morning, but feel free at the moment to pop in your resolutions or your intentions. Resolutions, as I see it, are the things you set up to beat yourself up with later on this month and feel like a failure. That can't be very helpful for anybody, can it? And hence, I think the low success rate of resolutions. There are other ways of doing this, aren't there? Like creating powerful intentions or goals or living in possibility, which I'd like to talk about briefly as well this morning. If we get the chance, we want to talk about beer too. What else have I got? I want to tell you what's going on for the rest of the week. Beer, I think, is going to be an ongoing theme from day to day this week. Oh yeah, the new theme, the new opening. I wonder if you like that. We've got rid of the we've rested. Got rid of sounds very harsh, doesn't it? But we're resting the whistling and the bells. Not entirely a bell end, as it were, but you'll hear the bell ever so slightly, subtly, in the new mix, and we'll go out with the whistling. So whistling hasn't really been got rid of or rested. It's just been moved to the upbeat end of the show. And who doesn't like a rising climax to enter the day with, right? Hola, bon dia, Thunder, and whoever else is here from Rebel Mama. Thank the gods it's 2022. Sounds like a line from Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? Thank you, gods, for 2022. Feast, gentlefolk, for tomorrow we march upon the new year. A bit cloudy in the Alto Minho, but we had 70 degrees over the New Year holiday, so I will not complain. Good. But it was incredibly mild, wasn't it? And that is one of the news items I can share with you, the heat wave that's heading our way. It was a very mild Christmas. I'm not complaining either. Rather enjoyed it. A lovely day for Minnie's birthday yesterday. Very, very mild, very sunny, beautiful day, beautiful, easygoing day among friends. Thank you to you all. So somebody got a driving license after 10 months, so just a couple more months maybe to wait, but we'll ask the expert in a little while. Thunder Deagle's here. Deagle, likewise to you. Thank you so much for your support over 2021, and look, a resolution here to continue with the Portuguese language learning. Bon dia, Carl. Happy New Year. 50 minutes yesterday in the gym, set the machine to Portuguese and had a Portuguese radio station on headphones. Very good. Great way to learn. Really good way to learn all sorts of things, I think, tuning into a Portuguese radio station. Mike Campion's here. Happy New Year to all. Great 2022 ahead. Absolutely right. We must see it that way, right, Mike? And Mike and Maggie, all the best to you for the new year. Rebel Mama, I had an appointment after 2 months and got a temporary. My wife has been waiting 8 months just for the appointment. So we'll see if we can shake that tree a little bit later on. Cindy B, great to see you, Cindy. Bon dia todos. And Jim White as well is here. I'm looking forward to seeing you this week. Jim, bon dia todos. We made it. We're now in Peniche. Thanks to all of you for your encouragement, and to Gilda and Christina for their guidance on our visa. Surfing on New Year's Day. Wow. Were you, Jim? That's incredible. Fantastic. Any pics? And James is here as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz Segunda. Yeah, Feliz Ano Novo. Very good. Cheers, James. Right back at you as well. And thank you too for your incredible support in 2021 as well. One of the Gumpers, one of the regular Gumpers here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Matty's here as well. He'll be really here in the country. What? He is in the country already. Hola, bon dia e bom anjo a todos do Pombal. So he's already here in Pombal. My goodness. With us not having a daily show, we weren't able to count that into being, were we? But he's here in the country. That's fantastic. Looking forward to meeting you in person as well, Matty. That's one of my 3 areas really for focus and development in 2022. You know, we help people move to Portugal, obviously, Expats Portugal and the Good Morning Portugal show. And more, I think, more emphasis for me personally on supporting and helping people who are new here and who are maybe have been living here for years as well, getting that emphasis right. And the other part, you know, my longer term goal, But I want to kick it off this year is the giving back part as well, which is showing our love for Portugal in a tangible way, not just words here on the show, but getting involved in projects that really give something back to the country as well. So more of that. More on that as the days, weeks, and months unfold. Feliz Ano Novo there. I think that's probably a Feliz Ano Novo, but thank you very much. Or not, but, and thank you very much for that, Matty. How are you doing? How's it going for you here in Portugal? Your dream has been realized now. Sometimes that's an interesting situation to be in, isn't it? Welcome to the neighborhood. Nice one, Cindy. Just down the road, really, of course, isn't he, Cindy? So maybe we'll all get together. We've got enough folks for a Silver Coast get-together gathering soon, haven't we? Very mild Christmas and New Year in Belfast. We got to 13.9 degrees. Every point matters, doesn't it, when you live in a cold country. So 13.9. Let's just round that off, shall we, to 14, just south of Belfast on New Year's Day, Newcastle County Down. Blustery morning, though, this morning for Digo. And Rafael's here, who's settled in, who's got the Braga bragging rights. Bem-vindo in Portugal to Matty. Man cave men chatting to each other as well. Not in capital. Oh, yes, in capitals, of course. Bom dia todos. Feliz Novos Anos. Thank you very much, Jean. Great to talk to you in the last few days. Hope you're doing well over there in the States. And a little bit of correspondence to and from the Gumpers, between the Gumpers here. We submitted our paperwork early September. Just got an email asking for more documents. Seems they're very backed up. Yes, indeed. Need a good metaphorical syrup of figs, don't they, at IMT, I think. I have the email printed out that ours are being processed in the car. Yeah, I mean, that's my advice, is just put together everything you've got. And to show that you've done everything you can, and it's not your fault that you haven't got the license that you were required to get. But we'll see what Gilda has to say about that. And it's a born New Year, Carl, from Rafael, and to you, mate. Thank you, Rafael. Bon dia e feliz ano novo to Jim as well, and from Jim. Good morning, Jim. How's Germany this morning? And Pam here from the Ask Our Expats team, who may well be here on Thursday. We'll ease our way into 2022, into the new year, with a bit of a convivial and helpful gathering on Thursday. As many of the Ask Our Expats team as we can muster to just answer your questions, basically, have a bit of a social. And does anyone want to nominate? In fact, is there a theme you'd like to put forward? The Ask Our Expats. Excuse me, I need a little sip of water. Excuse me. Is there a theme as we go into this new year that you would like to be the subject, that you would like to quiz the Ask Our Expats experts? Expert in living here in Portugal, ahead of the curve of many who are just here, maybe having spent a few years here. And our honorary expat, who's of course a native, Anna, is here as well on Thursday, answering your questions about life in Portugal from the point of view of everyday folk who live in Portugal. And so do join us for that. Open to all on Thursday from 7:30 this week. Christmas tree down, fresh. Anyone got Christmas lights still up? And we do keep our crib up until the 9th of January. I see. So a bit early on the 12th night and a bit later on the 12th night for the crib there, Deagle. I think I like how you observe the traditions in your house, Deagle. Very nice. Happy New Year from Ricardo Pinto as well. Ricardo, good morning to you and to Rosemary Baker. Feliz Ano Novo. Oh, very nice. It's nice, nice leisurely sort of atmosphere this morning as we ease our way, as we stretch and limber up for the new year, right? Deborah's here as well. You make me feel it's all now gone back to normal. Thank you. I need routine now. A lot of us were floundering, Deborah, and maybe like me, this feels like a slightly more restful approach to life. I mean, in our family, we're celebrating birthdays and Christmas and New Year from the beginning of November to the beginning of January. It's like party central. So yeah, I agree with you. It's nice to be back in this chair. And it's nice to feel like things have in some way returned to normal. But I mean, we can't really claim any sense of normality, certainly in my voice this morning. Normality and gumperdom do not tend to go together, do they? But I get your drift, Deborah. It's nice to be back with a bit of a routine, isn't it? Bon dia e bom ano novo aos todos from Laura P. Yeah, Laura, great to have you here as well. And Owen's here as well. Feliz ano novo igualmente to you, meu amigo. to Owen, to you, mate. Have a great 2022. Anna's here from Sweden, from Stockholm. Foggy and rainy there. Just recovered from a fantastic New Year's party. Just still recovering with my daughter's 30th birthday party. Lovely pictures, Anna. We're Facebook friends, and I saw your lovely pictures there. It looked like you had a great time. Let's aim for a great year. Absolutely, for sure. Talk about resolutions and goals and intentions and possibility in just a moment. And an invitation to all you personal development folk who I know are abundant in this community. Jim thanking James and Cindy, the welcoming party. A lot of love for you here, Jim. I hope you know. Even the fur on your face is back to normal. Indeed, I did trim some of it, Deborah, so that I would feel right for performance this morning. Rebel Mama, we have the receipt showing that we applied. According to Portugal, my wife's US license is no longer valid after the end of 2021. I should add that we paid EI to handle this for us. Okay, we will be asking. We will be asking the questions. Jodie's here. Jodie Vajko Oviedo is sunny and crisp. Sounds great up there, Jody. Good morning to you. And TJ Stibe is here. Aloha from Honolulu. Good morning to you, TJ. Great to have you here. Time to switch to a Mac. What happened that causes Raphael to say that to me, I wonder? Something to do with my internet problems. Oh, the virus thing. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm going to be joining your cult, Raphael. Laura P. Albufera today, sunny. I'm not averse to joining cults. I just don't feel like I'm going to be joining the Apple cult anytime soon. Albufera today, sunny, being foggy 2 days before. Okay, so the sun has burnt the fog away down there in the south, and fog last night in Ferrell. Is that as in Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell felt like California. Wow. Okay. So Ferrell is a suburb of Peniche, I wonder. Not heard of that before. And Abu's here, everybody. Look, Bondi, everyone. Carl, your fans missed you. I'm sure they coped, Abu. But great to see you. Thank you for saying that. I arrived at my house in Pombal, and all of Portugal welcomed me with fireworks. Yes, absolutely. We don't normally do that on New Year's Eve, Matty. That was just for you, mate. And yes, Thunder, I think understandably pretty peeved about this, so he will put that forward to Gilda. As I say, shake that tree. Bon dia to hashtag Carl Munson there from Marcos Cunha. Hello, Marcos. Great to see you here this morning. Happy New Year to you. And at Thunder Duck from Diga, we took them down Saturday, Sunday as working nights this week. I guess it's got to fit in with the shift pattern, doesn't it? Put in the Christmas tree decorations or the whole decorations around the house up and down. Bon dia and Happy New Year to all from Ubi. Ubi's here, everybody. Good morning to you. How are you, Ubi? How was your New Year's Eve? Carl, can you give regular updates during the shows about the election updates, seeing Portugal votes 30th of January? Well, I do have something for you today, funnily enough. I have all the content and the information. I just don't have enough time. No, I'm not doing a show until 11 o'clock. That's not a reasonable solution. I can't drive her around everywhere. Okay, Thunder. Easy, man. We're going to find out for you. My intention is to experiment with having zero alcohol this month. Okay, join that club, Jody. A dry January. Not sure if I want to completely stop forever. I just know I've been self-medicating a bit during this craziness. Well, therein lies some wisdom. I can hear and see that. When you know yourself that well and you're sort of diagnosing yourself as self-medicating, that shows a great level of honesty and self-consciousness, doesn't it? And possibly leading to a dry January. I'm not stopping forever. I just decided to stop for a year last July. I'm halfway through, Jody. And there were one or two times during this holiday period where I thought, nice cold beer would be really nice. And maybe some Vinho Verde. I haven't missed the red wine at all. I'm not sure. I don't understand what it is that you grown-ups like about red wine. But when I start again, maybe I'll give it I think I'm going to buy really expensive red when I start again and see if that makes a difference. A rising climax to start the day, you say? Absolutely. Is there any other way, Raphael? Suze is here. Lovely to speak to you. Yahoo! It's 2022, says Suze, who called us on the blower on New Year's Eve. It's so good to hear your voice, to actually hear your voice. So I recommend that. Maybe not today, everybody. Let's just get back into the groove. But you know the number, don't you, by now? 913-590-303 for your pics and messages. I hear that some have been coming through us already this morning. 913-590-303. And it is the number to call as well, but maybe not this morning because I'm not properly plugged in, I don't think. But it will be really great to speak to more people, hear their voices, hear the texture of their voices, to interpret their soul through the audio that we can share, as well as all the pictures, videos, and textual comments that we get here. Ricardo Pinto, I'd like to travel by train to Lisbon from Seville next week. Do I need a PCR COVID test? I imagine you do. To come through the border, ideally. I think you can get. I mean, there's testing all over the place at the moment, but the encouragement is to get 6 tests a month, I think. Certainly, I saw that, I think, in an Algarve news item. I would have thought crossing the border, you do need a negative test, Ricardo. And I would suggest going to, off the top of my head, Safe Communities Portugal. And it may be that somebody knows that in this community this morning, or somebody on the forum. Oh, do you know what I haven't done? I haven't sent the link to Gilda to join me this morning. That's probably what one of those little bips was earlier on. So let me just send that to Gilda now, so that she can join us in just a moment. Because that wouldn't be good, would it? If we were waiting for her and she wasn't there. Oh, lovely pickies there from Jim White. Are they for sharing, Jim? Let me download those and we will get those on the screen. Obidos is a fabulous place, and I imagine the New Year's Eve run-up was really good fun at Obidos as well. Medieval atmosphere at Obidos. Jim, you don't look at all. Well, you look a bit chilly in that picture, that last one that you sent in. Maybe I need to blow it up a bit to see what you in your full glory there. Oh my goodness, I just got your message, Matty. That's really kind. Oh, let me see. I think that's probably okay, Matty. I will check with Mrs. M, but that's so kind of you. And Deagle. Did my gym in Portuguese yesterday, set the machine to Portuguese. So I think we've got a screenshot here of how these gymnasiums have come a long way, haven't they, in the last few decades. In my day, you used to get your Stan Smiths or your green flash on and run around the block. But now you can go to a gymnasium and run on a pretend running track while standing still, listening to the Portuguese radio. Isn't that amazing? Pammy's here, everybody. Bondi from Oregon. And I've done the dry January. It was a positive experience. I thought about doing it this year, but the Bera on the shelf was calling my name. Yeah, it does do that, doesn't it? Something about Bera. I got one of those in the house. It has been looking at me in the way you describe thunder, or have resisted. A year of clarity and unity, 2022. Well, let's make it so, shall we? I mean, it's up to us, isn't it, with the resolution? I mean, that's I think probably a good use of the word resolution. We resolve to have this as a year of clarity and unity, for example, and we will come back to that resolution when we perhaps lose our way. So thank you very much, Owen, for that. I'm up for that. I'll second that, a year of clarity and unity. I think things have been a little unclear, have they not, in the last couple of years? And certainly part of that has been people disagreeing with each other. And it's so sad, isn't it? Because we all want the same things. Yet we have, by some method or other, some means, we have been divided over these various issues in society. And it's so sad, as I say, because we actually want the same things and we can achieve so much more when we're in alignment. It's as though there's something going on. Thanks, Lord, for 2022. It's so World of Thorns. Is that what is that? World of Thrones, Game of Thrones there, Marcos. Thanks, Lord, for 2022. Bon dia, Carl. Thanks for help yesterday. It's my pleasure, Catherine. Listening to your book in audio was beautiful. The preface, your reading is very beautiful. From what you said, I thought, I'm not sure if Kate enjoyed reading her book. It sounds beautiful how you voice it, and I got through the preface and well into the introduction from you yesterday. So thank you. That was a real reward to me for helping you yesterday, is to get to hear your book in audio form. I recommend it. Catherine, Kate, please put the link to your book from whichever bookseller it is sold through. I'm sure it will be of interest to many here in this community. So Rebel and Thunder, everyone's supporting Thunder this morning. And Thunder offering back support, particularly with the dry January. Thanks for the encouragement. I already feel calmer. It's good to talk. Carl, your WhatsApp notifications are coming through on the stream. Yes, I quite like that. Do you not? I can turn it off if you like. And Finance, best for a 2022 of recovery and rebirth. Well, there you go. Clarity, unity, recovery and rebirth already this morning. That's all right, isn't it? There's another one of those notifications that they might be getting on. I know what the problem is. You think probably that they're coming through on your phone, maybe, when you're in a cafe and yes, you get something like that and everyone looks down at their phone. Is that what's going on? If you want me to turn it off, I will. James, parabéns e bem-vindo to Matty, just new in the country. So I'm so pleased, Matty, and I'm so looking forward to shaking your hand. We are the riot known as the Gumpers. Bring on 2022, shaking a fist at the new year or beating his chest in a really nice alpha male display. Come on, 22. Bring it on. Show us what you got. Hi from Vinny Vengeance in New Zealand. 30 degrees centigrade at the moment. Wow, as hot as it gets pretty much. Well, that ain't too bad, is it? 30 degrees centigrade. We're partnering, says Jody, with a local Portuguese language teacher in February and hosting a group of 6 students for weekly lessons in our home. This may be a solution for others in your own area. Great idea, Jody. And our dear mate Boas as well we did a residential, and he wants me to speak to the teacher, and I'd love to, the teacher of the residential that he went to, because that immersion I think is a useful thing as well. We approach learning Portuguese from a number of angles, don't we? With Mia, with Philomena, all sorts of ways, committing to 15 minutes. But I think this residential and immersion is a great idea as well. So thank you, Jody, for that. Blueberry Eyes is here as well this morning. The Apple cult is so amazing. You will see what cult members always say things like that. Blueberry Eyes. Or is that Raphael under a different recruiting name? If you don't like computers that work reliably, then hey, that's how it goes. If it's a cult, it's a cult of shiny working computers, says Raphael. Wow, that's amazing. What a great start for your new life here. Was that all the fireworks for Matty? And she goes on to say, does anyone know of a link to a subtitle debate from last night between BE and Shega? Would love to see that. Yes, so would I actually, Rebel Mama. And so, yeah, we'll get some political coverage. Do you remember that time when I was speaking to that political bloke and he revealed himself as a Shega member? It was quite a moment on the Good Morning Portugal live stream. I think it's been more than balanced by Doc's rantings on a Wednesday. But yeah, let's if you know somebody who can speak to us coherently and in the English language about what's going to be going on in Portuguese politics over the next month, put me in touch. An entire year experiment. What's that? Without the booze? Absolutely. Oh, Chris is here as well. Hola, Bondi, Gumpers, 2022 slight change. Additions to Jazz Funk track of the day, Soul and Funk. So the Jazz Funk track of the day will include Soul and Funk now. Today's track written by Isaac Hayes and David Parker. Soul Man, performed by Sam and Dave. Yes, what a classic. Thank you very much for that, Chris. Happy New Year to you and Rima and all the family. My intention is to learn Portuguese, reach fluency in French, oui d'accord, and lose weight and watch Good Morning Portugal every day. Yes, the last one, perhaps the toughest challenge among those, Abu. Love my Macs. You see, I've riled the Mac owners here a little bit, I think, haven't I, by accusing them of being members of a cult. Not your average globe. Dr. Raphael, I heard people say Tesla is an apple with wheels. It's true. I still refuse to use second-hand fruit. So there you go. These cult members are showing themselves and their colors this morning. But it's true, isn't it? And I was thinking about Teslas yesterday. Oh, it's 9 o'clock, everybody. How's that happened again? And we've got news items to look at. We've got earthquakes in Albufeira, haven't we? We've got a very lukewarm reception to the president's New Year message. I think, should we come back to those and the beer thing after 9 o'clock, and as we await the arrival of Gilda? So let's do a few more hellos and a little bit more chat until Gilda gets here this morning. Everyone gets a turn in the box. What does that mean? Is that the Tesla box or the Apple box? Jed Sloan, morning from Furrow, bright and crisp there too. Not only Aveda where Jody is, but Jed's in a crisp and bright Furrow this morning. And okay, so yeah, I was thinking about Teslas last night, and these remarkable people, love them or loathe them, and I thought the portrayal of that type of character in Don't Look Up was really very smart. And isn't Mark Rylance the most incredible actor? Because I saw him in the BFG only the night or couple of nights before. And there he was again with his incredible acting skills, playing the part of the somewhat awkward, socially awkward, but quite brilliant mind. That is the logical conclusion of the worst defects of the rational mind, it would appear. I was thinking about these sorts of folks, these what you might call visionaries that are taking certain parts of human culture to the very edge, and some of us fear beyond that edge. But it's not, Tesla's not really about cars, is it? And Bezos, it's not about, I don't imagine Jeff Bezos grew up wanting to be a shop owner. It's about the phenomenon, isn't it, with these folks, it seems to me. It's not about the car. It's not about the computers. It's about the effect on society, I think, that's the most attractive thing to the visionaries behind those particular contributions to society. What do you think about that? Message for Gilda. Please explain the new rules for the golden visa. I might need that up again. There's a lot going on this morning, Chris, but that's a good idea. And thank you very much for that. Oh, here we go. The erotic novel. It's the new year is a good time to start afresh, isn't it? With things, put away the old, like the Christmas decorations, back in the box, and look ahead. But not when it comes to the erotic novel. I think we've only just got started, really. So here we go. He saw her at the window talking. Sorry, let me do that again. He saw her. Let me do that again. He saw her at the window taking in the sunrise of New Year's Eve morning. Of New Year's morning. What a mess I'm making of this. And felt it deeply stirring to feel the rising climax of the New Year dawn. Thank you, James. I'm sorry I didn't do that justice there. But the floodgates have opened. Is that the name of the next one? The floodgates have opened, possibly, right? He opened his floodgates. And you still got something left from my present? Don't think you do. Oh, that's Owen. Is today a bank holiday in Portugal, says Diego? What with New Year falling over the weekend? Is it? No, I don't think they do that here in Portugal. If it happens at the weekend, it happens at the weekend, and they don't carry it forward, as far as I know. Suze, don't know why my call took so long to connect on New Year's Eve. You thought I did think you were pranking, winding me up, ringing me up, and then putting the phone down, and then ringing me up, and then putting the phone down. Glad I made one last try. You said my voice was sexy. Ha ha. My last remnant of sexy. There is also another. Could someone write that down as well? The last remnant of sexy, as another possible erotic novel title. Thank you, Suze. It's coming thick and fast. There's another one for you. My primary machine is always an inexpensive phone book, but I also use a Mac desktop for the screen size and a PC for secure VPN network. Hate them all equally. That's how to treat computers. Ubi, I'm with you. Actually, I do understand the what is it, the disdain for, but they are. I mean, let's not. I don't want to be disdainful. On the one hand, I do. I mean, I don't want computers to be running our lives in the way that they do, but I do need to love my computers so that it's a love relationship rather than these machines around me that are making all of this possible feel in any way awkward. I don't want to do anything to their self-esteem that might undermine the presentation and production of this show, where we now welcome onto the screen for the first time in this new year. And I can say to her in a Portuguese dad joke style, I haven't seen you since last year. How are you, Gilda Pereira?
That's right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, Felicia Nonovo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How was your New Year celebrations?
Really good, Gilda. I think the raisins are still around here somewhere. I ate more than 12 raisins, but that's a Portuguese custom. Did you do that?
No, I don't like raisins.
Okay, fair enough. Did you substitute for maybe shots of Jägermeister instead, or tequila or something like that?
No, maybe slots of champagne.
Very good. 12 shots of champagne. Sounds like, yeah, actually, well, they're the same thing, aren't they, really? I suppose champagne is recycled raisins, isn't it? Or recycled grapes. I think
Yeah.
you got the better deal, perhaps. So, yeah, well, another year, 2022, an exciting one for Portugal, right? We have a new, we have an election, so it might have a new PM. Senor Costa is saying if he doesn't get a majority, he'll resign. What do you make of all this? What can you tell us? Because we're all political children here. I speak on behalf of the community here, and we're not very well versed in Portuguese politics. What's going on? Please help us.
I don't think he will resign if he doesn't get the majority. I think he will do the same. He will try to negotiate with other parties. I think that's what's going to happen again, to be
Okay,
honest.
so coalition. Moving,
20 bottles of booze. More or less that, more or less.
Portuguese style batty. All right, so you think the PM will go for coalition again and try and
Yes,
figure?
I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
It's quite. I mean, it's a mixed blessing, isn't it? A coalition because it can temper extremes, can't it? But it can also be very slow, laborious process of changing society, presumably.
Yes, that's it. But if he doesn't win, then that's when he say he's going to be. He doesn't want to be s- someone that it's going to be the second one in the combination.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he wants to be the leader of the coalition.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And will people take that threat seriously? Will they think, "Oh no, we don't want to lose him"? It's hard for us to know, I think. Is he a popular prime minister?
I think that people are a bit tired of him right now.
Okay, all right. So he
And
needs to,
then
sorry, carry on.
and that happened when in the last elections for the câmaras municipais.
Okay, okay. What there were
For the
signs, were
city
there?
halls. Yeah, there were signs that people were tired of him. So we don't know
Okay.
what is going to happen.
Now sometimes I think politicians can start doing crazy stuff when they feel that the electorate is tired of them. They sometimes start a war or do have to do something really brave and crazy to get the ratings back up. What could he possibly do? Do you think whereby Portuguese people would say, "Wow, we're not tired of him after all. He's amazing." What is it Portuguese people are crying out for right now?
Well, on the first elections, he talked a lot. He talked too much, and now everybody said that he talked too much, and now he's going quieter.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's demonstrating that he's listening to people, but then
Yes,
people presumably in a few weeks' time people say he doesn't say enough. We need to know what we need to know what his
probably.
policies are. Okay, and it can be a bit of a worry to hear of when you're an immigrant into the country to hear of the rise of what's characterized as the extreme wings of politics. How serious is that here in Portugal? Would you say, Gilda?
Well, I don't think that for now it's serious enough.
Right.
Uh, but it starts to be a little bit of, something that bothers us
Yeah, of
because
course.
we didn't have that a couple of years ago. It's something
No, okay.
very new. We don't know how to deal with it because we saw our countries that thought it was a joke for start, and then it become real.
Ah,
So we are in that position. We don't know if it is a joke or if it's going to become a real threat.
interesting. So it's a kind of novelty at the moment, the extreme
Yes,
side of
it
politics.
is.
Okay, because so often it's the way, isn't it, that I think people who don't feel included in politics or who have felt like they get the worst end of the deal can understandably gravitate towards the extreme politics. And so that's the job presumably Senor Costa could do is address the complaints of the people who are likely to go to extremes through frustration and the difficulties they face in their daily lives.
Yeah, but I think that that kind of people, it's very difficult to be pleased by Mr. Costa.
Okay, all right. So I think we get a pretty good picture there of what's going on in Portugal. We will be covering this for the rest of the month in the best way possible. And obviously, you're here with us on Monday, so we can rise to the fever pitch of the result towards the end of the month. But do you think as well with the election coming up that, well, I suppose the question is, what do you think the effect will be on public health and the COVID measures, given that the politicians will be as much looking at the election result as they are at public health at the moment?
I don't think they will change a lot because they listen to these experts on the health issues, and they will continue doing that.
Right.
So the outstanding result is going to be the same.
Okay. All right. So nothing to. I mean, it sounds to me like there's nothing too dangerous about to happen in this country. This is quite run of the mill, and people will be playing it safe. There's nothing. Doesn't sound like there's anything too extreme or difficult at stake here.
No, and the guy that it's running against Mr. Costa, Rui Rio, he's very quiet. He's very quiet, and he's like friends with Costa. He's like they look like they hang out and things like that.
Okay.
They don't fight.
So
yeah,
just be like, whoever loses buys the drinks, kind of thing.
yes.
Okay. All right.
Something like that. They don't fight, and it looks like everything is fine.
Wow. Okay. And again, a mixed blessing, because you think, well, that's not really a very dynamic force for social change, but it's at least very safe, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is very safe.
Yeah, maybe we could err on the side of safety at the moment in many ways, and I don't know. Maybe it's down to the rest of us, the people who complain about politics and who doesn't. Let's face it, for us to do more in within our own communities and locally, because I think that's where the action is, and I think Portugal is beautifully set up for that with the way things work in terms of local communities and local government. And I think as well, I noticed, trying to make sense of the political picture here, there is an appetite for regionalism, isn't there, and to take power away from the centre and the capital and move it into the provinces and let people make decisions about their own lives on a regional basis. Do you think has that got legs, as we say in UK?
Yes, that is happening for quite a long time. It's been on the table for quite a long time, and I think that has legs to go on.
Okay, brilliant. I always love to hear that the power is devolved to regional level, and I'm so glad to hear that Portugal does indeed have an appetite for that. Pam's saying, my impression is that a lot of Portuguese people are not engaged with politics. I think the political system and standard of debate is far superior to the UK. Well, that's a great insight there. Thank you for that, Pam. Yeah, I don't get the sense. Juicebox Leo says in Portugal that politics are as toxic and polarizing, for example, as in the USA. Well, I think the USA is setting the standards for political polarization and toxicity, aren't they, at the moment? No offense to anyone, but that would appear to be the case. Where else? So we got some great comments coming in. Thank you. A safe move in the government infinitely beats the Obama to Trump transition. Nearly called it a transmission there, although that probably wouldn't be such a bad choice of words. Thank you, EI, for advice. Even got a lovely email on Christmas Eve. It keeps me here longer, but good to know. So a satisfied customer there in the form of Suze, and we have Tech asking, somebody called Tech. I bet that you were glad to get that name on YouTube. Do you guys offer consultations for the D7 visa? Absolutely right.
Yes,
Gilda,
of course.
Yeah, and that's how to find out. Go to that link, Tech, and find out. And Gilda will now be answering a few questions. Tech, if you want to put your circumstances in the chat, so we can find out a bit more about you and you can find out a bit more about how to move to Portugal, we are glad to serve in that way this morning. And the big contention of the morning is Thunder Duck. And it's so far back in the comments, I might need your help on this, Thunder Duck. But 8 months, and Mrs. Duck is still waiting for the IMT to do something about her driving license. The American one, I think, has lapsed now, and nothing has come through as yet from IMT, Gilda. So they are in a pretty pass, to use another British expression.
What can I say? It's not the only case that I know of. Unfortunately, it's been happening. They need to keep pushing, and they need to go to the MIT and explain the situation.
Well, they are working with you, and I know that Carla has been pushing every week. We know that you've been doing your bit. And are we in this situation where we just can't do anything until the IMT respond in this case?
No, we made lots of complaints, and sometimes when the manager there looks at the complaints, lots of them go out at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But
So
we need to wait. We have many clients on that situation.
right, okay. So they're not alone. I think the concern for them is what to do if should they continue to drive with their latest level of paperwork.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you would say continuing to drive is okay, and I mean
With all the paperwork showing that they are trying to get the driving license, but they can. They
okay.
can.
And of course, I mean, that is a very difficult situation because it does come down to the confidence of the individual, doesn't it? Whether they want to take that, because technically they don't feel like they're legal to drive, perhaps, and that they might get fined. But that's am I right in thinking that's how it might work here right now with the current situation? Is that you just take with you everything you've got to show that you've done what you can, and hope that the police officer who might stop you can understand and be compassionate in that situation.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And what fine are they up against? Should they be fined and then need to dispute that later on? Do you know what the levels are?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So somebody else might be answer that. Thunder, I'm afraid that is probably all we can do for you. It looks like EI are continuing to complain on your behalf on a weekly basis, it would seem. Can they go into the IMT themselves and go knocking on the door?
Yes, Carlo goes there also almost
Okay.
every week, if not
Okay.
every week. She goes there.
Right.
But I didn't know they were working with us. But if they are, there's no need of them going there by themselves.
Okay, so but maybe team up one day with Carla and go along
Yeah.
and maybe for your own satisfaction, Mr. and Mrs. Duck could go along with Carla and do a bit of banging on the door as well. Okay, it doesn't feel entirely satisfactory, but that's where we're at, and that's what we're up against there, Mr. and Mrs. Duck. I hope that is in some way helpful. But do come back at us with if there's anything I missed there in my summary of putting that towards Gilda there. On an entirely different note, how would you describe Bera? Gilda, I've been tempted to buy some. Every Portuguese home has to have Bera. Isn't that the law here?
Not really. I don't have Beirão.
What? Do you not like it?
No, it's too sweet for me.
Okay, that's a bit of an upset this morning. In my mind, I had it that every house had Beirão to offer visitors, but maybe nobody likes it really, and that's why you always get offered it because they're trying to get rid of it when you go to people's houses. Actually, Portuguese people might not even like it, but I love the backstory to Beirão. I think it appeals to many of the tastes of people here in the community. Gary, one of them, who we'll hear from in a little while. Lots of comments because we're back in the saddle this morning, Gilda, for the new year for 2022. Have you got any particular resolutions yourself you want to share?
Yes, I want to have a calmer year for myself.
We all want a calmer year for you, but you know that's not going to happen, don't you? We are, and I'm sorry to say that's true. So okay, let me just rewind a little bit. We definitely want a calmer new year for you. No question about that. But we are also aware that because of how wonderful Portugal is, more people want to come here. So we're going to have to figure out a different way of having you be calm and having a massive and increased volume of people wanting to come to Portugal, right? We're going to have a team of 500 people working at EI, so that it can be calm for you, I think.
Yes, but I think it's the way that I manage it. I don't do sports, I don't do yoga, I don't do meditation. I need to start doing something for myself also.
Yes, you do. And that was something I wanted to talk about. And not necessarily with you here, not because I wanted to talk about you, but because I thought it was a separate part of the show this morning. We have a lot of people in this community who do stuff like that. Like Victoria's here. I love Felicia Nonovo from Victoria. She's just published some fantastic relaxation videos. We have other people here who work on all levels of personal and human well-being. And I'm inviting you all to come forward with an offer, not necessarily that Gilda might take up, but she might. I'm talking about for this whole community here. We have been through a difficult couple of years. We are poised possibly on an incredible time in human history where things are up for grabs. The institutions, if we take the IMT for an example, the IMT, like a lot of government institutions, are completely overwhelmed, and you could argue not fit for purpose. Change, transformation, shift are in the air, and we can do this all together. But as Gilda says, I think we need to do it in a calm way, and we mustn't be overwhelmed or undermined by what's around us and what we might be going through. Because I don't think it's going to suddenly go quiet after these last couple of years. I think we're going to have to, like they say, learning to live with COVID. I think we're going to have to learn to live with rapid transformation, and we can look after each other in this process. So all of you therapist types, all of you well-being people, you people who work in personal development, and I know there's a lot of you in this community, can you create can you reach out? Can you share an offer of some kind for this whole community? And Gilda might like to take you up on that offer as well. So please come forward with that. I'm not just making this as a single one-off suggestion now. We'll probably do something on the forum or elsewhere where we can galvanize and bring together people who help people. And I know there's a lot of you in this community. So Gilda may well be able to pick from a menu of a new sporting activity, meditation or yoga or something like that. Goodness, I mean, you're in the capital. You're going to have access to all of these things, and we may well have a new immigrant expat who does exactly that, Gilda, who might even be able to create a well-being program for you, so you can feel like you're going into 2022 with all the preparation, support, and care that you need. All right, so the invitation is there, everybody, and I think that's right, Gilda. I'm so glad you've got it like that. And that you're open to a bit of yoga or a bit of self-care or whatever it might be.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I can see a little smile on your face.
Yeah.
and on my own as well. I think this is important for all of us. We have to work as a team on this, don't we? In looking after each other as we go into this exciting new year. And this is the other thing I wanted to ask you this morning. I mean, we've got a Portuguese government that's about to reshuffle, change possibly, but presumably the civil servants, the people who stay in position year after year, know that. I mean, the people who are trying to put together CEF at the moment, they must know that hundreds more people want to come to Portugal. What are the plans on a national level for welcoming and responding to the demand that there is in the world for wanting to come to Portugal, do you think?
They don't have plans.
What? Okay. Seriously?
Seriously.
Okay, so they're just...
And I know that. And I know that because when last meeting we had with them was because of the Golden Visa program, they said that it was not a priority for them.
Yes. Okay, the Golden Visa is not a priority, or having plans is not a priority, or both?
No, having plans for having people here was not a priority.
Oh, really? That's
crazy. which is good for us because they are not planning on changing the D7 rules.
Right.
In some way, it's good for us.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. So this is what's being said. Look, I love Gilda, such a realist. So clearly you can see the good and the bad of this situation where the government aren't necessarily proactive with immigration. So the upside is that the D7 stays quite an attractive proposition because they're not redesigning it or looking at it in any way.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the good thing. So maybe we shouldn't rock the boat too much. But then on the other hand, we are looking at the most incredible opportunity, aren't we, of attracting people. Like, let's look at Juicebox Leo here. I live in the US too. It's a mess and I'm ready to get out. I know Portugal isn't perfect, but I'm much happier there. I have dual citizenship, so it won't be as difficult to migrate. You're in a lucky position, fortunate there, Juicebox Leo. But there are so many people, I think, in this situation, aren't there, who want to leave their current country, and Portugal looks so much more attractive. And they fit into this box I was talking about earlier on. They're not just expats who want to come here for the tax advantages and to take. There are lots of people who want to come here and give back to this amazing country, Gilda. Wouldn't it
I have
make
one
sense?
question.
Go on. Go on.
Do you have any feedback about these all these expats that come to Portugal? Are all they loving Portugal, or some of them regret?
Well, that we should commission that survey. Absolutely. I mean, anecdotally, I would say that I think it's something like, I would say, just off the top of my head, my intuitive, my emotional and intuitive response to that is that there are rare exceptions that prove the rule that people love to come to Portugal. Okay, so there will be people who come, and life being life and circumstance being circumstance, they might have a bit of a curveball that they didn't anticipate, because you can't anticipate everything before you come. Or they might have something go on back at home and they might need to leave. Or they have a particular something bad happens, that gives them that's like bad luck or bad circumstance that really affects their decision and their honeymoon eyes that they first had on arrival. Something happens and it's too much for them, and they think, I can't stand this place and I can't put up with that, I'm going to leave again. But they are in the tiniest of minorities, and I would expect that. That's life. Things like that do happen. But it's incredible the amount of people who long to come here. I've got quite a what have I got? Probably an 18-month view on this now in helping people, and also before that, just knowing people from the 4 years I've been here. People long to come here. They enjoy the process of coming here, more or less, give or take the uncertainties that get to people going through these immigration processes. They love arriving here. It's like, yes, it's just as I imagined here. And you won't believe how many conversations I have now, sat in cafes or in my front room, because this is becoming an HQ now of people arriving in Portugal, and people just sitting here having what I call the Portuguese moment, which is maybe sipping on a Bera, or eating a pastel de nata, or looking at the blue sky, or sitting here on Christmas Day when the weather is mild, and you could see on their face and in their countenance, that's what I moved here for. And they are in the vast majority, Gilda. But you're right. We should commission some sort of survey to find out. That would be a great thing to do. And we should know this stuff, shouldn't we? I think I haven't done it because I just intuitively, instinctively think that everyone's happy. So it's never occurred to me to find out about all the bad stories, because the majority of it is all good, and that's the world I live in. Is in the joy of moving to Portugal and the joy of being here. But I think you're absolutely right to ask that question, and I think we should take it on formally.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
Because sometimes when I make the process, I think this is not going to work. I don't know why. For some people.
Sorry, say that again.
Sometimes when I'm making the process, I have the feeling that this is not going to work for this person or for this family.
Oh, what with the aspirations that they have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I have that feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are getting some excellent feedback to your question coming in. And also, I think I would like to address this again. And this is what people like about you, being such a realist. Now, I suspect you say to those people, you're probably not going to like it here. And you're honest with them. Now, I think that's part of the process that you offer, isn't it? And that's why you have, is it a 98% success rate in getting people through the process?
Yes.
Yeah. So when they're coming and you think it's not a fit, presumably you tell some of them.
No, I just I don't tell them. I just tell them to be careful, to be realistic, to to have their feet on the ground.
Yes, yes, and understand what they're up against.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it's more anecdotal stuff. This isn't. I don't even. I say that. Jerry's probably thinking, "Oh God, Carl," when I say yes, let's commission a survey, because I don't really know how to do that. But I think it would be a great thing to do, and maybe it could be a joint venture between Expats Portugal and EI. But look at this. We have some lovely comments coming in response to what you're saying, as well as other things like this. You don't have to stand under any banner. This is going back to the politics. I think it's possible to have your own mind, your own thoughts. The sooner we understand this, the better. Yes, amen to that, Gary. The Golden Visa program apparently hasn't been successful as far as creating jobs, spreading the money, is what I just read. We will come back to the Golden Visa because Chris wanted to know about that. And Abu wishing a Happy New Year to Joao F. Joao F's here, everybody. And to answer your question, I love Portugal. Excuse me. I love Portugal, as says Chris. We know that from his videos and his comments. Yes, we fled the US as rebel to Leo, to Juicebox Leo. Can't really compare it to here. So it's beyond comparison. Our only regret is not getting here sooner. And I had that conversation with some folks on, I think it was Friday. Meet so many people here now, Gilda, who I bump into them in the street, and have meetings with people and have lunches with people. And one thing that comes up, we wish we did this 20 years ago. Okay. Portugal was a very different place 20 years ago, but I do get the point. João Mendonça, Bom dia, Carl. Let's start where we left off. Yay! Let's start afresh and start where we left off. We love Portugal, no regrets, in capital letters there. I would give up my US citizenship in 4 years, but I'm worried they'll keep all my social security money. That's honest as well. Well, it seems like they have a lot of programs and incentives to grow different regions away from Lisbon. The Regresso program as well, and all the Portugal 2020 programs. We love it here, says Rosemary. And they're in Porto. Rafael, this is good. I've spoken with expats from around the world. So many people in so many countries regret moving there. Interesting. But the expats I've known over the years in Portugal are the ones with the lowest levels of buyer's remorse. Good to know. Marty, good morning, Marty. Portugal represents hope. Now, this is perhaps what the government don't understand, because when you're in government and you're dealing constantly with a message or a menu of cynicism, because that's the world of politics, isn't it? You forget perhaps that how other people see your country. And I think Marty's absolutely right here. This is not a singular sentiment. I think this is true for a lot of people. So representing hope, says Marty. And you Portuguese folks don't know that, because it's the water in which you already swim. Love a place or not loving a place is many times an inside job. Yeah, well said, Jim. The challenge of keeping a perspective while in the midst of challenge is difficult and doable. Now, that's the other part. I think we're stepping into being able to help people more once they've got here, and they go into what I call now what syndrome. The community is clearly not an unbiased sampling. It may be an accurate measure, but probably tilted in the pro direction. It's true, James. You're absolutely right. Quality of life in Portugal is great. Last time I was there, I told my Alvo that I'd rather be broke and happy in Portugal than be rich and miserable in the USA. And here's the thing, Juicebox. How about we be rich and happy in Portugal? It's possible, isn't it, Gilda?
I don't know if of course it's possible, but you know that the salaries in Portugal, it's not the same as in the US or other countries. But the thing is that when it comes to make that choice, many people makes that choice.
Yes, but
having
I would
lower salaries in Portugal than in other countries.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be like that, does it? This is my contention, and this is part of the longer term work that I personally want to be involved with, and I trust it's the direction of this community here. Is that it's a kind of legacy thing. There's no reason why conditions should not improve for Portuguese people. That it would be, in my view, it would be a disaster that life only got better for expats in this country. That's a recipe for resentment and bitterness, and it's not fair. And I think that what we see in our community is a number of people who want to come here and give back and make a contribution, and they want to enjoy their life, and they want to set up a new life of hope, as Marty puts it. but they also want to see that the Portuguese people, the Portuguese culture also benefits from their being here, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, that's right.
I believe that. I honestly believe that. Rebel Mama, I will forever defend Portugal. I know it's not perfect, but in all areas, its heads above the US for sure. I can't speak for other countries. I'm trying to get my entire family to move here eventually. There you go. Do you do a bulk discount for families, Gilda? I think we can do
No.
10%. We can do 10%.
Yeah.
Gilda, you have so much experience and so much heart. I say trust your intuition. Yep, there we go. There's some advice coming in already from James. I love that many kids are moving back here. Our village has a large percentage of Portuguese families that moved to the US and are now back. Fantastic. Gary Austin, Portugal is a great place to come as long as you have the means to support yourself. Otherwise, it can be tough.
Yeah.
I know it, says Garvo, but he's still here. He's still here. And Bondi, Carl and Gilda from Michelle in Australia. Morning, Michelle. Great to have you here. Happy New Year to you. Gilda, can I say you are amazing? Yeah, you can, Chris. Can I say it as well, Gilda? Absolutely. You know, I think it's right what so many people are saying here. You are amazing, and what your company does is amazing. And there is so much love and support from people who've already been through the process, I think, who want to see that grow and grow. So you can lean on us as well, Gilda, as people have leaned on you, I think, in the last year or two. A culture of caring and embracing one another and being of service, a kind culture is to me the best of all the greatness of being here. Oh, there you go. And since buying a house in Portugal in 2005, and she's an early adopter. Look, check it out, 2005. I've known quite a few people who moved back. It's not for everyone. Some people have become isolated, especially older people who've lost a partner, also grandchildren. Grandchildren's a thing for sure. And but it's all doable, isn't it? There are solutions to every aspect of every problem that we face here if we talk about it and we come up with something. Hopefully we Gumpers are getting in early to Portugal. YouTube is full of videos. I think it will continue to grow, as will prices. Inevitable, but that's again giving back realistic prices so Portuguese people can make a living as well. Well, I told my Arvo that because when I told her I wanted to move there, she pointed out all the negatives, including financial. That's a good grandma, looking after your interests. Grandmas are very realistic. I'm financially wealthier in Portugal and in so many other ways wealthier, and spending my US income to help support the Portuguese economy. Thank you, James. One day I might hand back my US passport, but I will never feel like I abandoned my country. My country abandoned me and its own soul long ago. Wow, Ubi, that's powerful stuff. Gilda, what is it about those who don't seem like a fit that tips you off to them being a bad risk? Yeah, so what sort of things are you seeing in that situation that you described, Gilda?
I see, for example, I see a family, an Indian family that is very religious, and they just came from Qatar. They were living there for a long time. And I'm a bit worried because the whole family moved. They don't speak Portuguese, and they were very attached to church. And it's very difficult to buy their products to do their own food here. And I'm a little bit worried about them.
Okay.
Because they cannot attend to church in English where they chose to live, and they cannot buy the products to do their own food.
So a very humanitarian concern. I think me and Jim were thinking, you know, are they a bad risk, as in they're not good for the country? But you're just worried about them personally.
Yes.
Typical of you. I think in this instance, I would direct them to our forum. You know, help is at hand for sure. For anyone who's struggling to fit in on our forum, you know, we make a big deal of that. And if we don't, I'm sorry, we failed. But for anyone who's come here and wants to get involved in being here, living in the country as an expat, the support is there on Expats Portugal and on the forum. So send them our way. We'll do what we can to help, Gilda. Absolutely. My goal is to help my neighbour in Portugal. I wouldn't be happy if I didn't make their life better. This is what I'm talking about. This is it. This is Expat 2.0. You know, I think there are people who want to come to Portugal who are
but
those
Marty is an excellent people also. He's an excellent person also.
No question, no question. And we love him, don't we? I mean, you know, and we are glad to call him a gumper here. But he's not alone. I don't think he's alone in this expat 2.0
No.
phenomenon. We are many. We are legion. I am Spartacus. Hi, Owen, for your event, people. We don't want to lose him, lol, says Gary. Joao F., a Portuguese sentiment here. These years of pandemic have taught me some things, one of them being patient. Absolutely right. Joao F., we are going to have to be, aren't we? Patient and intentional, though, right? Yes, the American dream became a nightmare for so many. So listen up. They've gone down that path so that we don't have to. I have had my first consultation with and I'm all ready to move. I am going to stay in Portugal this summer. Anyone renting a flat? Okay, so Sanford Jones, if you've got a flat for rental, get in touch with Sanford. Jump on our forum as well, Sanford, and put that word out that you. And well, we know that Gilda can help you with Casa Portuguesa as well. Golden visas, Gilda. We are rapidly moving towards 10 o'clock. I know you've got to go to work. I mean, this is work kind of, isn't it? But I know you've probably got to go into the office. What's happening with the golden visa for 2022?
Well, it's what happened before. The law has already changed, so no more changes for 2022.
Okay.
So what you need to keep in mind for 2022 is now that the calculations for the D7 based on the minimum salary changed, because the minimum salary in Portugal has changed.
Yes.
Now it's 705 euros. So when you make the calculations, you need to be aware of that. Okay.
All right. So that's a change that we need to bear in mind. Anything else then going into 2022? Plans for moving to Portugal. What else do people need to be aware of?
Well, the process in India now is better because the embassy is not taking the process anymore, but it's taken by the VFS, and it's going a little bit easier for India.
Okay. So India has improved. Any other pointers as we go into the new year?
We hope that that now that I haven't tried because it's very early yet, so I didn't try. But we hope that the lines for the family reunion are going to be open now.
Okay, which takes us to Seth. Any update? I mean, this is going to be first day back in the office for a lot of people, but how are you feeling about the Seth Apma? I think the new name is, isn't it? How are you feeling about how that's shaping up for 2022?
The Seth what? Sorry.
The reorganization. Any news, or is it too early to say as we go into the new year about the reorganization?
Now they have postponed it for another 6 months. The restructure.
Oh,
I don't know if 6 or 3 months. They have postponed it because they feel that they were not ready.
Now they tell us. Okay. And the impression I get from you, Gilda, is like, you're not surprised. For you, it's just going to be business as normal.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be dealing with it as it is. Okay, there you go, folks. Changes in the minimum wage. Some possible light at the end of the tunnel with family reunification. Business as normal with Seth. They're going to be doing what they're going to be doing, and EI will be helping you in the usual way. Casa Portuguesa, the new service, helping you find a rental or a home as well. That's the big news for you, isn't it, in 2022? How's that looking? And what actually, what's it about? What is that service?
Well, we help people to buy a house to rent or to buy.
Okay, and that's the research, is it? What would I do? Yeah. I give you where I want to live, and your team just going to give me a bunch of leads to look at, and then you'll do the necessary.
Yes.
Okay, Casa Portuguesa, everybody.
Yeah. It's a new project for 2022.
New project for 2022. Okay. So we do need that team of yoga teachers and massage therapists standing by. Big, more people come into Portugal. Casa Portuguesa launching. We need to look after Gilda this year. And I saw that Jim said his host, was it Elizabeth, Jim, and your wife Mandy. are yoga teachers, which can be done online. So there you go. There's a possibility there. And is that
Yes,
an offer that's
they already offered me.
marvelous? Okay, all right. So it's back to you then to make the decision on that, to buy the yoga mat and the yoga sweats and all that sort of stuff, and do your first session. Have you done yoga before?
No, so it needs to be
It
at the
changed my life.
very beginning level.
No problem. It changed my life, yoga. It was really instrumental in making me the man I am today. But don't let that put you off. Tommy Spade, Tommy Spade, Bon dia, Happy New Year. Governments change a lot, but regarding medical mandates, have there been any rulings from the judicial system? Can you tell me what the current circumstances around this are? Obrigado. Tommy, do you mean, are you saying that are the restrictions law, or are they just restrictions, which is a question many people are asking at the moment? Joao F, what are you saying here, Joao F? This country doesn't have infinite resources and give things a little bit slow. Maybe I should get an apple. Oh yeah, in the past 4 decades, it still struggles with a number of priorities, each one being dealt with in its own pace there, which is a pretty good assessment, I would say. Joao F, you would know better than anybody, I'm sure. There are English churches across Portugal. The Forum, good idea, yes, to help that Indian family. And Carlos Maximo, yes, come on, you centurions. And when I get there, I want to help rescue dogs where needed, beyond taking another one into my home, says Suze. Well said, Carl. Don't get isolated. We're here and we can and will help. Thank you, Gary. Gilda has a tender heart. That is both a blessing and a curse. We know that about you, Gilda, and you know that we want to help and support you in this new year, I hope. I would imagine that anyone thinking of moving here but unwilling to join the culture and people wanting to keep all their home country lifestyle would not be a good fit. But that's for anywhere. Well said, James. It does exist here for sure, but I think that's changing. It's becoming unsustainable. My friend is buying a T0 as a studio, isn't it, next to Praia de Rocha in Portimao, and we'll rent it. There you go, Senor Sanford. You can ask Carl my personal phone, and we can be in touch. How about that? How quick was that bit of help?
Yeah.
Happy to see you, Rebel Mama and Abu Muhammad from Joao F. Glad to be back again. Can we support you, Gilda? How can we support you, Gilda? Lots of love for all you do in helping us. I know it's a job, but you do it so well. It's all there for you. Biometric cards, appointments. Any news on that, Gilda?
No, not yet.
Okay, so it's another Seth thing, isn't it? It's in their to-do list, isn't it? They probably help. They need some help with resolutions and intentions and possibilities. And I'm all for. I mean, I get your point, Gilda, about let's not rock the boat because it's quite a nice system that we've got. But I don't know if that's playing the game big enough. You know, maybe we do need to step into, like, we want to come here. We want to help other people come here. Can we work with the government to ease these processes, I wonder? Or am I just being idealistic and naive with that? So, Abu, the fee is high and they advertise your name in the shame list as a punishment. What is that? What was that you were talking about there, I wonder? Okay. I don't think a T0 studio works for my family of 5, but I would appreciate local contacts. Okay, we can sort that out. I'm going to ignore the comments now, given the time. And I think Mandela probably needs a little walk, judging by the sounds we were hearing earlier on. How is Mandela at the moment? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's very naughty, but he's
Very naughty, yeah, as we've come to
yeah.
expect from the little puppy. Oh, okay, this was the renunciation process for giving up your passport. Okay, it's a shaming system by the sound of it. That's terrible, isn't it? And America does not want to lose you, Americans. I think people need to start learning the language and do lots of research before moving to Portugal. Good advice from Abu there. Not really necessary or worthwhile in most instances, giving up your American citizenship there. And let's make Portugal great. Easy, Shroud. Don't start all that stuff. He knows how to wind us up here. I do hope many Sikhs migrate to Portugal, as we have here in Ishvail. Such a kind and giving religion with beautiful people there. Thank you for that, Michelle. And you're right not to trust the government, although my understanding that SSI shouldn't be affected, says Ubi. I think we've triggered Ubi there this morning. Give up your US passport and you pay an exit tax. That's what I mean. They do not want to lose you. Okay, we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm sure you've got to go, Gilda. If not to your first yoga class, then into the office to see what 2022 has already brought to you. Is there anything we missed? Anything you want to share with this fine community of ours here?
What is your feeling for 22? Do you think that more expats are welcome?
Well, yes, simply. I mean, that's a question for
More
all of us.
than in 2021?
Yes, yes, yeah. And I know one part of you is thinking,
no, I want more clients. I love my job.
Good.
I want more.
Good. No, I was just coming from the point of view of you not wanting to be overwhelmed by the sheer volume of people. But you better believe it, Gilda. They are coming. People are coming. This what has been recognised by this relatively small number of people here. This small but perfectly formed community. Look, here we go. It's not just me answering that. Yes, capital letters. Absolutely more people in 2022. Thunder. Yes, there will be an explosion of US citizens coming here in 2022. And Jim, I believe more expats will come. There you go. They are coming, Gilda. They are coming, and I think we need to be ready in all sorts of ways for this phenomenon. It is phenomenal, and it is. I think it's a great thing, and it's the greatness of it will depend on how ready we all are and how we help people and what we put out as the sort of the attraction point, I think, for Portugal. So I'm really enjoying being part of this, absolutely. And thank you both, James, Thunder, and Jim on that. And Gilda, a question coming back to the nitty gritty nuts and bolts. Gilda, current waiting time for a consultation with your office, please.
I think now it's about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. All right. So between making first contact and getting the first Zoom consultation, 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. There you go, M Finance. So act quickly, get 10% off by becoming an Expats Portugal premium member. Yes, Gilda, mostly I think because Portugal managed well COVID situation, at least this is what I get from Italians. Yeah, I mean, if you make the comparison between here and Italy, certainly it seems like Portugal is a calmer place to be around the whole COVID pandemic response. OMG, Gilda, I can't wait. Question, is that about the 2 or 3 week wait or what? I'm not sure what you mean there, question always, but just make the call, get yourself in the list. Bondi, Cullen, Gilda from very chilly and wet cold rain on the northwest coast of Ireland. Not long until the 14th of January. Yay! Really not long now. That's fantastic. Just 11 more days. I can start scratching on my desk here, these various countdowns. Looking forward to meeting you, William. 2022 is a year of enlightenment. Ask the universe. Yay! Fantastic sentiments this morning. Thanks, Chris.
I hope so, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's make it so. If you build it, they will come. Portugal is the field of dreams, says Gary Austin, as he surveys the territory from his hilltop in Alviagra. Remember, COVID impacting plans and slowing things down for many. We are coming. Yeah, it's remarkable given the circumstances that things are moving so well for so many people moving to Portugal. A simple thank you, Gilda, from Jim White. Thanks from M Finance. Watch the riot grow. We do have to be careful with this sort of languaging, don't we? They've come to. We haven't come to Portugal to start a riot, Portuguese people. We don't mean it like that. Explain yourself, James. Gilda, I don't know you personally, but you certainly make Portugal. Thank you for all you do. From João, from your fellow countrymen.
Thank you.
And as someone who was living in Italy until recently, it's shocking how different things are here, how the COVID situation is being handled. Yeah, you put it much better than I did there, Raphael. Absolutely. Need to go. You're not the only one, Laura P. And William, we were in Donegal for a few years back. Loved it there. Husband has been all over the country, 5 trips to Ireland. Gilda, I need to talk about beer. So I'll do that after you've gone. But wishing you the most marvelous 2022, a new year. Will you extend that to all the team at the office for me, please?
Yes, of course.
And to you and your family, of course. Give Mandela a little pat on the head this morning before you go off to work. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and I'm really looking forward to this thing that we're talking about happening. The more people, the Expats 2.0, and hopefully at some point, working proactively with the government to share this jewel in the most brilliant way with people and the most effective way.
That's not very possible because in Portugal, the government has many rules, and one of them is that you cannot work with private companies
No, I get
because
it.
you would be like, yeah, you would be like
Yeah, no,
having a
yes,
favorite company, and that
of
it's like
course,
a crime.
of course. But that said, I think we could have a council of expats. It doesn't have to be directly through Expats Portugal, does it? Which is a private company. It could be a not a union exactly, but an association of expats would be a pretty marvelous organization to offer feedback and to do the survey that we talked about before. So I'm all for it. I totally get your point about private companies work. We know how that can end sometimes, don't we? When private companies
Yeah,
work with the government, we don't want any of that. But I think
no,
that there's certainly some useful information that could come from the ground up from people who've got their boots on the ground recently here in Portugal. Gilda, thank you so much.
bye
Ciao, ciao.
bye,
See you next
ciao ciao,
day. Lots of love to
see you
all of you.
next week.
And we will see you soon. You're awesome. And we will be asking you next week whether it was yoga, meditation, and whatever it was that you enrolled in. Bye
Thank
for
you,
now.
bye bye,
All right.
bye.
There she goes. The marvelous Gilda Pereira, everybody, of A and all the team. Of course, an amazing team that Gilda works with. They're not just in Lisbon, all over the country. And it's so exciting to be talking in these terms this morning with Gilda. And sorry if we didn't get to your specific question. Come back at me, Carl at expatsportugal.com, and I can pass that on or carry it forward to next Monday. Or you can just make your own approach to EI. A is how it's said by Gilda. EI is how it's known by the rest of us, I think. I'm not planning, Abu says, to move to Portugal for at least a year or two, and I'm already started learning Portuguese with Mia. Very good. And watching Good Morning Portugal every day. Well done, Abu. You are that's a pretty good, even if I say so myself, that is a pretty good preparation there, a pretty good run up to the whole process. Obrigado, Gilda from Sanford Jones there. Okay, I just very quickly want to kick up something off about beer. And we have had Andrew. It's a pleasure to work with you, Andrew, on behind the scenes. And you asked this very interesting question in our forum, and this was New Year, wasn't it? New Year's Eve. When my wife and I visited Portugal a few years ago, we mostly drank wine with our meals, and on evenings out, I'm sure we had some beer, but I'm not remembering it. I'm first a beer drinker. What I know about wine comes to very little. The only times I know I've had good wine are times when people I was drinking with said something like, "This is a really good wine." I do, however, know good beer. I'm a beer snob, not in the make my life miserable for my companions way. Thank you. More in the legend in my own mind way. Fantastic. So if anyone here is game, I'd like to get a conversation going about beer in Portugal. I understand there are several major production breweries, and according to Wikipedia, around 100 small breweries in the country dedicated to the production of craft beer. Along with a general discussion of beer would be a general discussion of places to drink it. Having spent much time in the UK doing various of the long distance walks, AA country pub crawls I'm familiar with, and a fan of that kind of establishment. I hope the number of British expats in Portugal is an indication that some good folks have translated the British pub to Portugal. But I also want to know what the Portuguese think of a proper pub or bar or roadhouse or whatever it is. The beer snob in me yearns to expand his horizons. Happy New Year to everyone. Lola and I are very glad to be here. So fantastic from Andrew. Thank you for that. Just kicking off that discussion, and we'll keep that going this week on where to get a decent pint for a beer snob. My first suggestion to you, they're coming in, look, Coruja IPA from Andy. Beer, did you say? We've got Sanford's attention on a number of fronts this morning. I'm all ears. And talking of Donegal just briefly, yes, the scenery is absolutely breathtaking, but at Carol and my time of life, we definitely need Portugal too to rejuvenate our lives. That's fantastic. So beer, yes, the beer conversation has started. First suggestion from Andy is Coruja IPA. I'm not an IPA fan, says James, but most else. So let's have some specifics, you guys, on beer, and we'll keep the beer conversation bubbling under in the background this week. I would say if I may, Andrew, to check out Musa in Lisbon, in the Beato district. Very trendy, very up and coming, very beautiful, great vibe place to be. Beato, Beato, and go to Musa, Musa. I'll see if I can dig out some pictures, or I might have done a review a long time ago, but they have got a fantastic selection in there, and the buzz is great as well. The whole vibe of the place is fantastic. You can sit out there on the old Beato streets having a beer. Fine place to go. So Musa, porter ales all the way. Oh yes, of course, and there's Pausa. And we spoke to Mark, didn't we, who runs the Pausa Brewery up the road from me. There's another one for you. And Rebel Member, if we had to choose, we would drink a Superbock Stout, be a Superbock Stout family. I'm out of practice on this. Hold on a minute. Oh my word. Time to stop. But it's Superbock Stout for Rebel Mama. Sagres had a special dark over Christmas, and it was actually pretty good. We are having trouble finding craft beer in the market. I'm so sorry, but craft pubs are around. Microbreweries. Let's get on with this, shall we? Microbreweries, names and locations. Let's do this. Not a beer fan, says Suze, but one bottle around for making fish and chips. Beer batter. Very good. Abu, I'm 59. It's not easy language. It seems I forget what I learned the day before in the morning. Now, you're making me laugh as well, which is not helping my cough. So we'll keep that beer conversation going. You've been amazing. We have hit the ground running this morning with a vision, I think, for helping others to come to Portugal, to assist those in the process, to support those who are here, like that family that Gilda mentioned, who are struggling to get some of the food that they like and integrate with their spiritual community. We can help with all of these things. Oh, look at this. William's offering to pack a beer. Oh, my goodness. I would say, wouldn't a pint of Guinness be amazing? But it doesn't travel, does it? It really doesn't travel. William, just bring yourself, and Carol. It'll be lovely to meet you both. And we'll share a Portuguese. Oh, I won't. We'll share a Portuguese drink here. It's you I want to meet. But that's a very kind offer. Marmite, though. Yeah, Mrs. Have a jar of Marmite with you. So our new theme, beer and wellness. Okay, we are nothing if not balanced here on the Good Morning Portugal show. You've been very, very good this morning. Excellent. And so lovely to be in Gilda's company as well today. So I promised you whistling. We come in with a new theme, which you might have missed if you were late to the show. Check it out tomorrow morning. Oh, tomorrow, Tuesday. I think we're talking to Serenity tomorrow, those fantastic case managers that help you out with the Portuguese health system. We got Michael Heron on Wednesday. Heronius Maximus will be joining us. And we will be having fun for the rest of the week for sure. So tune in early if you want to see the new intro, but it's the classic outro. Go out and enjoy Portugal. Do that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. Thank you so much for making it such a beautiful re-entry. There you go. There's another one for you, James.